Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Daisy Apparel. Today's video is an exciting one because I'm going to be showing you how to sew this dreamy tiered gathered skirt. This maxi length skirt is so beautiful and also so easy to sew. In case you're new here, this is part of my course, Sewing for the Complete Beginner, where I walk you through everything you need to know to sew your dream wardrobe in 12 weeks. This skirt is going to practice using the technique of gathering. I'll explain more about the course at the end, but make sure you stick around to hear about that. Until then, let's get started sewing. Okay, so now that I have sewn the pieces together into a loop, I'm just going to sew a zigzag stitch around both the top and the bottom of the loop, and I'm going to do this for all of the pieces. Okay, so here I have the middle piece, which is the second longest, and I'm going to take the top edge and just fold it over by ½ an inch. Kind of like this. And I'm going to pin it in place. Then now that it's all pinned in place, I'm going to take the seam and fold it in half to find the other halfway point. I'm just going to take tailor's chalk, or you can use a water erasable pen and mark that. Then now once I've marked the little halfway point, I'm going to match the seam with it. Like this, and then find the quarter point on either end and mark it. Then now that you have all those marked, you're going to sew 2 rows of gathering stitches, which on here I just marked. Basically one row is going to be above, like kind of in the center of this folded over edge, and the other one's just going to be slightly below. But with the gathering stitch, you aren't going to do it all the way around the loop. You're just going to do it from one quarter to the other quarter. But you're going to do this for each quarter. This way when you're gathering it, it'll be more even, so that way it doesn't look as odd. Now that I've sewn the gathering stitches, I'm going to take the top tier of the skirt, and again I'm going to use the seam as a center point and mark the halfway point and then the quarter point on it. Now I have the top tier with the quarter points marked, so I'm going to take the middle tier of the skirt. I'm going to match up the 2 seams. Then instead of pinning them right sides together, I'm just going pinning them on top of each other like this, because we already hemmed the bottom or the middle tier of the skirt. Then I'm also going to match up the quarter and halfway points. Now that I've pinned all the quarter points together, it's going to be really easy because once I gather the fabric, it will already be pretty even. So I'm just going to take the gathering stitches and gather the fabric and pin it to the top tier. Then now that the skirt gathered, I'm just going to sew a normal straight stitch through the middle of it. Then I'm making sure that the straight stitch goes in between the two lines of gathered stitching, and that will also be catching both layers of fabric. So here I have the bottom thin tier of the skirt, and I'm going to start by just hemming one side up by about 1/2 inch and then sewing it in place. I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the middle one with this one, where I divide it into 4 equal parts. Which mine, I already have 2 seams that are equal in half, so I just have to match them up to each other and to find the 4th pieces. But you may just have to do it the way we did the first time. Now that I have the quarters marked, I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier, where I fold it about 1/2 inch down. Then I'm going to sew 2 rows of basting stitches. And making sure that the basting stitches are again only going to be for 1/4 of it. Okay, so now that I have it folded over by about 1/2 inch, I'm going to sew the 2 rows of basting stitches, one kind of like halfway in between this hem, and the other one just below the edge of the hem. So here's what the 2 rows of basting stitches look like once they're done. So here I have the skirt, and I'm just going to take the bottom tier, and again I'm going to divide it into 4ths using the seam as my halfway point. Now that I've marked every quarter of the circle, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the middle and top tier, now with the bottom and middle tier, by taking it and matching up the marks and then gathering it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you found it useful. Make sure you follow me on Pinterest and Instagram to stay updated with what I'm doing for fashion inspo and sewing tips and tricks. As always, please tag me in any post of what you make. If you like this video or would like to see more like it, make sure you subscribe to my channel and read the notification bell. As I mentioned before, this is part of a course on how the complete beginner can sew their ultimate dream wardrobe in only 12 weeks. In the description, I'll link the intro video about this course along with a PDF explaining the outline of this course. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next week. Bye!